after the weekend. Now today in our English lesson what we're going to be doing is retelling plot point 4, okay? So here I've actually just put, here is our class model, okay, of the first 2 plot points. So on top of a log, Mila's big brother teased her about going into the haunted shed. He scoffed at Mila, not thinking for 1 second that she would enter the ghostly shack. Mila gave her older brother a toxic look that shot through the trees, which made him tumble. Feeling flurried as her pulse pumped and toes trembled, Mila's shadow quivered as she took her first steps reluctantly towards the haunted shed. She stopped, zipped up her coat, and then set off. The petrified girl slowly moved across the wet, overgrown blades of grass, tiptoeing, twisting, turning. Through the towering grass, Mila felt bugs crawling up her silky legs as her feet squelched through the mud. She was beginning to wonder if it would be better to do her brother's chores after all. No, she thought. She would rather get a few scratches than wash her brother's foul-smelling pots. Okay, so that is our first 2 plot points as a class, okay? Now, plot point 4 is about where Mila enters the shed and she actually finds Gabe and starts speaking to Gabe, okay? So it's all highlighted for us here, okay, in yellow. Now, this is quite a big plot point, okay? So we might have to make this two paragraphs, okay? Because there should be a maximum of 12 sentences in 1 paragraph, and one of your targets today is using speech, and I think we will have to move into 2 paragraphs for our second plot point, okay? Now, today's lesson is going to be a bit different. I'm not actually going to write my version next to it for you, okay? So I'm just going to explain to you of what your targets and what you could do, okay? So for the chunk 1, I would like you to talk about the smell of the shed, okay? So what is the smell of the shed like? So here you need to think about whether the sentence is going to be a positive sentence or a negative sentence. For example, if the shed is full of flowers, okay, we're going to use really positive smells, so we can talk about aromas, scents, fragrance, okay? But if it's negative, like my example, there was loads of cobwebs all over the everywhere. There was vacant spaces, so it's going to be quite a negative sentence. So I'm going to use some negative smells. So I could talk about the smell being pungent, or there being an odour there, or reeking and stinking, okay? So I want you to carefully think about the positivity or negativity of your sentence, okay? Chunk 2, I would like you to describe Gabe, okay? So we don't actually know what he looks like, so it's up to you to paint a picture for the reader. So I'm going to be reading your plot point. I would like you to describe it so I can have a clear image in my mind. And then last of all, we're going to be looking at dialogue between Mila and Gabe. Now, we've already looked at speech last half term, so I'm not going to go through how we punctuate our speech, as you already know how to do that, okay? But you need to create a clear dialogue between Mila and Gabe. So what do they talk about? They talk about book club, the reading police, okay, what he's reading, does he have many books, okay, so I want you to talk about all of this, okay, many books. Now, remember the key rule, one of the key rules when we write dialogue, okay, now that is if it's a new speaker, it starts a new line, okay, so new speaker, new line. Now, I would like you to go off and write plot point 4, okay? Making sure that we include chunk 1 of smell, describing Gabe, and dialogue, please. Okay, thank you.